Let me see. Good morning, fam. It's your girl, Miss Diva Trucker, and I'm coming to you to do a quick video. Okay. Today's topic, and let me know if you have something else that you want to talk about or you have any other questions. But today's topic, I want to go over freight agent. Let me change this. It's going to be freight agent. I can leave it like that. So either we're going to do freight agent training, how to set up your carrier packets for your shipper and for your for your carriers. Okay. So if you are a broker, I'm going to show you what items that you will send out to your carrier. If you are an agent, how to contact the shippers. And if you are a carrier, also how to contact and set up with shippers directly. Okay. Let me know what kind of what topic you want to talk about, and we can go over that. Okay. So this is being streamed in the mentorship group. It's also being streamed in Miss Diva Trucker, okay, and also on YouTube. So if you have any questions, now is the time to ask, okay? We're going to be on here about an hour and a half. What time is it? 1:40. So we'll be on here an hour and a half so I can answer any questions that you may have, okay? So again, this is going to be a training for either freight agents, um, freight brokers, um, carriers. Okay. And we're going to get set up as far as you remember the first video that I did. We went over equipment, we went over the weight. How is Arshawn doing? Arshawn is doing great. You know, he's at US Express. He's a company driver at US Express. He's about 2 years in the industry now, so he's doing good. Let me see. Is it possible to be an owner op and a broker for self and others? Yes. You can get your, hey, Ida, you can get your broker's license at any time. You don't have to be a carrier. How many miles do I run at JB Hunt? Maybe about 2,000, 2,000, not that much, 2,000, 2,500. Um, But yes, you could be a broker without being a carrier. Okay, you can do that. Um, and but yeah, let's go over some things. And as I go along, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. That's what we are doing this for. Okay. So, for instance, you want to be a broker, right? You want to go ahead and be a broker. The first thing that you're going to do is you are going to get set up with the FMCSA. Would you recommend it? As far as being a broker, I would recommend, Dante, I would recommend to be an agent first and then be a broker, okay? Because you can always grow. And think of it this way, right? When you get your CDL or your license, a lot of us, we don't just go out and buy a truck and go under our own authority, okay? What we do is we get our CDL and we go out for training, and we may become a company driver first, and then we may be a lease driver, and then eventually, after we've been in the industry for a certain period of time, we will go ahead and purchase our trucks and maybe get our authority. Okay. So think of a broker authority just like that. Okay. You will have a better experience as a broker if you are an agent first, because that agent is going to take all the brokerage is going to take all the legal responsibility off of you, and it's going to give you an opportunity to really build up your book of business, and also to be able to move freight and get an understanding of the supply chain and what brokers actually do. Okay. Hey, I stopped by to give you some flowers. I remember when you first started, I told your mom, YouTube trucker mom. Thank you so much. Rose, are you offering a no? What I'm doing, Rose, is I'm doing these training videos on YouTube. So I'm going to teach you what I actually teach in freight agent training, because right now I'm not able to dedicate the time. Usually I like to do 3 days a week for 4 weeks. Okay. So these videos that I'm doing is I'm going to train you how to be an agent so you can get started even if you are not set up yet with an agency or a brokerage. Okay. You can get jobs as a dispatcher, as a freight agent, through larger companies. Okay. The only difference is you got to, some of them will require you to have what is called a book of business. Okay. So depending on your book of business, depends on where you can get hired. Some brokers may not even require that. Okay. They may let you just come in and just start building that way. Okay. Also with dispatchers, you don't have to be an independent dispatcher. You can be a dispatcher for all kinds of large trucking companies. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, am I doing another class? Not right now. I am doing these teachings online so I could do them for like an hour and a half, and then I could just do it when I have time instead of being scheduled that I have to, do these classes. All right. So let's get into being a freight agent and a broker. If you're an agent, you're going to sign up under a broker. If you are a broker, then you're going to have to get set up that way. Okay. Now, what are some of the things that you can do as a broker, right? Give me 1 second. I'm going to close some things down for you. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna just make some calls real quick, because as a broker getting set up, you're going to have to also be able to sign up with a factoring company. Okay. So not only to factor your own bills, but also to factor the carriers can be approved. Okay. So give me 1 second. Let me reach out to Taft real quick. Give me one moment. Let me just ask them a question. Give me 1 second and I'll show you what I'm doing.
Thank you for calling Taft. To reach sales, press 1. If you're a new client wanting to fund your first invoice, press 2. To reach client services or your private account exec, thank you for calling Taft. An agent will be with you shortly. Your estimated wait time is greater than 10 minutes.
Greater than 10
All
minutes.
agents are speaking to other clients. If you would like to request a call back without losing your place in line, please press 1.
Oh, let's not do that. Okay. But what you can do is you're a carrier, a lot of carriers sign up with Taft. Okay. So as a broker, you can sign up broker factoring. Okay. So you would go down here and you would sign up with Taft as a broker. Okay, so what they do is they give you a free credit check to view a shipper's credit and hauling for their load. So remember when I told you guys, as a carrier you get credit, and as a heading to Chi-Town to pick up heading to Texas, just thought, oh, okay, have a safe trip, Ida. But as a carrier, right, you're going to sign up with a factoring company, and what the factoring companies, they vet your brokers, okay, to make sure that it's a good broker, that they're going to pay, and that you're not going to have any problems with your bills, right? But as a broker, and you use Taft, they're going to give your shippers a credit limit, okay? So it could be anywhere between 10, 15, 25,000, whatever type of shipper that you will have. So they vet your shipper and they will extend you credit. Okay. That way you can be able to pay your carriers on time, right? For a fee. They do that for a fee. Now, when you sign up with a factoring company, they are going to want you to be exclusive to them, right? And they're going to also put you in a contract. Okay, so make sure that you read over that contract, and understand what it is that you're getting into, especially when it comes to the percentage and things like that. The bigger the factoring company is, the easier it is for you to get your shippers approved. Okay. Another way, if you don't sign up with a factoring company as a broker, okay, you can also, if you've been in business for a while, you can also do what is called a line of credit. Okay. Some banks will offer you that. You can go in with the bank and do a line of credit. So some people may get $100,000 line of credit, right? So you go into your bank, get the line of credit, and then that way you can be able, good afternoon, still favored. And that way you can be able to pay your carriers, okay? Now, how do you get set up? Once you do that, you're going to get your broker's license, right? Then you're going to get a TMS system, okay, where you can post your loads and things like that. The TMS system that I loved when I started brokering was Load Manager, and I'm gonna show you that it's the least expensive one that you can get for start off, okay, and this is Load Manager. Okay, and Load Manager, let me see if it tells you the price. And they are very one-on-one with you. Okay, so as a freight broker, it is $69 a month. Okay, which is real inexpensive. Okay, I don't. They just started this dispatching, I guess, services that they offer that dispatchers can use. They have a carrier TMS system. They have, you could do the carrier and a broker for $89.95. Okay, and you can customize it too. All right. They will also do EDI setup for you as well if you ever got into that. But it's a way that you can basically get your TMS together to move your loads, get your rate confirmation. You could even integrate, what is it? The payroll, QuickBooks. You can even integrate QuickBooks in there as well to invoice your shippers. Okay, so you can do that as well to send it directly to your shipper. All right, so one of the things that you're going to do, after you get set up with your factoring company, after you get your broker's license, right, to be able to start calling your shippers. Okay, the first thing you want to do is make sure when you're setting up your profile, do a LinkedIn profile. Okay, let me see if I can log into my LinkedIn. And if you're not sure what you need to say on LinkedIn or what you need to set up, you're just introducing your company. Okay. Now, a lot of times, if you do get the premium, okay, let me show you my LinkedIn profile. All right. Okay, so it shows that Brock Logistics, freight broker, license carrier, everything that I do, right? Also has my MC number for my brokerage and also my MC number for my carrier. Okay, so one thing you could do, you want to make sure that you have a profile of your accomplishments, where your office is located, your contact information, all these different things you want to have on your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so if you're an agent somewhere, you want to be set up on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where professional people interact. It's like your Facebook, With your Facebook, you have your friends, your personal contacts, and things like that. With LinkedIn, you have your business contacts. Okay. So on LinkedIn, that shouldn't be a place where, you're telling people to, have a good day or the sun is coming up or whatever the case may be. You want to be able to interact with people that have businesses that are in your field. Okay. So if you're looking for shippers, you want to be able to have relationships with shippers. Okay. Whatever the case may be, as far as it being professional. Okay. You want to set that profile up as a professional picture. Okay, you don't want to be all, doing one of your little sexy poses or whatever the case may be. All right. So it needs to be a professional photo. Okay, it tells about your accomplishments, what you do. Okay, and also you may want to start off with the premium version of LinkedIn, and the reason why you want to do that is because you are able to message the shippers, okay, or the logistics managers or things like that to get in contact with them. A lot of times, the logistics managers or the shipping managers or the people that you want to do business with are premium because they don't want everybody contacting them, right? So they figure that if you pay a premium cost, then you a legit business, right? So that they will interact with you. You will always be surprised on the people that you can find on LinkedIn as far as the partnership. Okay. So when you're looking for connections on LinkedIn, you want to look for people that can, that you want to be able to move their freight. Okay, so that's not a place for your friends, your relatives, all that kind of stuff. These are just business relationships that are pertaining to your career and what it is that you do, so you can network with each other. Okay, and that's why it's very important to have a LinkedIn profile. Okay. Not only that, you want to have your professional number, whether it's a toll free number, your business number, something that sets you apart from just your personal phone. Okay. I use what is called, Grasshopper. Okay. Now you can use whatever it is that you want to, but for my phone lines, I use Grasshopper. Okay, so give me 1 second. Let me log into this and I'll show you what it is. Okay, so if you're looking for a place that you want to set up your team. Okay, if you're looking for a place where all your messages and things can go to, give me 1 second. Let me just go back up here. Okay, so this is what I use for all my business calls. Okay, so for example, I have a toll free number, right? So I don't want everybody calling my cell phone, right? So they will call in on a toll free line. And this is what you can also have if you have agents or different people that needs to access their line. So all the agents don't have to have a separate phone number, okay? All the agents are logged into Grasshopper, and when the phone is ringing for a load, it will go out to the agents and they can answer the phone from their cell phone. They don't have to answer it, like they have a personal line. Okay. So if you are a broker or you're an agent, you want to be able to have a separate phone number besides your personal phone. Now, hey Vinny. Now, with your personal phone, you can also the calls will roll over to your personal phone, right? And in order for you to know that if it's a professional call or it's just somebody that's calling you that's a friend of yours or whatever the case may be, it will say Grasshopper call. Okay, so when it says grasshopper call, you will hit 1 and you'll be able to answer the phone in your professional way. And you know that that person is either calling for a load or they're calling for your services that you have. Okay, so that is one way. Now, so if you have multiple agents that is working under your brokerage, I would suggest have one phone number that carriers call into, and then the agents can answer that call. Okay, so they're not calling multiple numbers. All right, so first of all, we want to have a the LinkedIn. We want to have a professional email address. Okay, something that says I'm an agent or I'm a broker or whatever the case may be. It could be findloads@gmail.com. Okay, it can be whatever your company name at gmail.com. Okay, but you want to have a separate email address from your personal email address that you will receive your load list. Okay, that you will be able to send out to shippers that they already know you're either a broker or a carrier. Okay, so you want to have that professional email address to send out for your emails. Okay, so you're going to have your LinkedIn set up. You're going to have your toll free number set up, okay, that you can call out on to your shippers. You're going to have an email address, okay, where your shippers can reach you as far as sending you quotes or sending you load lists or whatever the case may be, okay. And the fourth thing you may want to have is also a website. Now, your website, you don't have to do right away, but if you're a broker, you need to start working on your website, okay? Because you can also send, when a shipper is asking you about your company, they can look at your website and know exactly what it is that you do, okay? So you want to have that as well, right? So we got all of that set up, right? We got our factoring company. We are signed up with a factoring company. We got our FMCSA licensing. We did our profile with LinkedIn. We have our Gmail account, right? We signed up with Load Manager so we could have them as a TMS system, and you can go in there and post all your load. What Load Manager does is, guys, instead of you having to go and DAT and posting your loads, and then Internet Truck Stop and posting your loads, and Load Board 123. Hold on one second. Hello, this is Tamara speaking. I'm going to help you. Okay, so instead of you going into all these different load boards, what Load Manager does is it puts all those load boards together, and you can integrate. So when you post a load, it can go out to all the different load boards. Okay, and also when you take off a load, you don't have to go into all these different sites. You can take it off in one place. Okay, so it helps keeps your loads together, what's been picked up, what has arrived. It helps you do your paperwork as far as your rate confirmations. Okay, people can upload their paperwork directly to you, so you can keep that together. You can send it over to your shipper so they can verify that everything was delivered on time. Okay, and it's just a way to communicate easier. Okay, also, let's see, so we got our load manager, we got our TMS, right? And we got our phone lines. Okay, we got a toll free number. Even if we don't have a separate number, we can get Grasshopper. I think it's Ring Central. You can use that. Okay, and you still can use your cell phone. Okay, so it can ring to your cell phone, and you can call out on it, and people will not know your personal phone number. Okay, you do not want to give out your personal information. All right, so you got your website set up, you got your phone line set up. Now you're ready to do business, right? So when you're looking at your shippers, okay, you're going to need what is called a broker you're going to need two things. When you're sending out information to your shippers, you're going to need a shipper packet. Okay, that's different between the carrier packet. Okay, your shipper packet is usually going to be, give me 1 second. Okay, your shipper packet is going to be real simple. Okay, this is the email that you're going to send to your shipper. All right, the email is basically going to say, "Hi, my name is Tamara. Okay, I am a freight broker with such and such company. Okay, or I am a freight agent with such and such company. Okay." You're going to ask for thank you for speaking to me today, because we're not going to just send out emails to just be sending them out with no contact. Okay. We first want to reach out to the shipper, let them know who we are. Okay. And we also going to get an email from that shipper so we can follow up after we get off the phone with them to let them know that here we got our BMC, the FMCSA letter. You're going to send them a copy of your insurance. Okay, certificate of insurance. Okay, you're going to also send them a W-9. Okay, because they're going to be paying you, and they will probably send you, whenever they pay you, they're going to send you I think a 1099 at the end of the year. Okay, also you're going to tell about your company. Okay, how many carriers you have access to, what kind of equipment that you have, whether it's dry van, what can you accommodate? Can you accommodate dry van, power only, reefer trucks, flatbed trucks? You want to give them your Duns and Bradstreet number in case they want to check out your credit. Okay, so you want to give them everything about your company. All right, so this is so basically with your, hold on 1 second. Okay, so basically with your profile, you're going to let them know where you are located, your address, what type of business. Do you have an LLC or corporation? You're going to also add your DMB number. You're going to add your insurance and what your capacity is. Okay, your W-9, your profile, your FMCSA letter, and your certificate of insurance that you're an authorized broker. Okay, so you're going to include that into your shipper's email. All right, when you're sending out your email, you're going to include that when you're making contact. Okay, then not only that, you have what is called your broker carrier packet. Okay, now let me show you what that looks like. If you want a sample, if you would like a sample of the broker carrier packet, you can look at mine that is located into our group, the Miss Diva Trucker Mentorship Group. Okay, so if you are a broker and you don't know what to send out to your carriers, and you want to send them a carrier packet, and you're not signed up with RMIS, where it's all electronic and they need to send out a paper, okay, put this in what is called DocuSign. Okay, a DocuSign document where when you send this over, they can electronically sign it or fill it out and send it back to you for your files. Okay, so when you're sending out a shipper not a shipper, a carrier packet, you're going to put all of this stuff, what kind of insurance you have, okay? Your phone number. You want a carrier profile. You want their business name. You want their MC number. You want their address, what factoring company that they use, the number of trucks and trailers that they have, what their SAT code is, okay? And you also want to have your broker carrier transportation agreement, okay, for them to fill out. So you want to, are you offering the training? No, I'm doing training now. So y'all can go back and look at these videos. And we are in training right now. Okay. So you can sign, and then you'll have your carrier sign. You're going to also, this is for like refrigerated. Okay. You're going to sign, have the carrier name and title. Okay. You're going to also have your information, your tax ID, your MC number, your DUNS number, your SAT code. You're going to also put in your references. Okay. So who are your references? All right. Your trade references, some of the trade lines that you have, also your MC license. Okay. So all of that needs to be in your carrier packet and a W-9. So not only do you need a packet for your shipper, but you also need one for your carrier. Okay, because you want to vet your carrier to make sure that they have the correct insurance. Okay, you want to know what kind of equipment, because when you're working with a shipper, you want to tell your shipper how many carriers you got signed on, what kind of equipment that they have, where they're located, things like that. You're building your carrier database. All right, if you don't have your own trucks. Okay. But if you have your own trucks, then you just include that with it. All right. So what we talked about so far is what we need to sign up with, as far as, and if you are an agent, you still do the same thing, but you need to have, your whoever you under your brokerage. Okay. If you are an agent, you still will have your own name. Okay. As an independent agent. Okay, but you still want to be able to, and it's best when you're an independent agent because you can use the brokerage information. Okay, so if you're under a brokerage, you're going to have all their information, you're going to have all their MC numbers, you're going to have all their insurance. Okay, so if you're under a large brokerage like JB Hunt or Milton or Prime or whatever the case may be, and you're an agent under that brokerage, they're going to have every possible insurance that you can name. Okay. They're going to be able to move the big loads. Okay. So that's why you don't have to worry about it. As a broker, you may have a bigger challenge if you're an independent broker. And the reason why is you may not have the insurance that it requires to move a Target load or a Walmart load or something like that. You can get there, but it's going to take time. Okay. So that's why, as an agent, I tell you to focus on what? Smaller shippers, right? Because all you need is a couple of 5 to 6 small shippers, whether it's lumber, whether it's whatever the case may be. Okay. Just use 5 or 6 small shippers will get you a decent revenue. Okay. To sustain you. So as you learn, you move up. Okay. Because a lot of what you're going to be able to take um, is going to be about your insurance. Okay. Now, if you're a carrier, you got your own authority, right? And you don't have a brokerage, you can still sign up with these 3PLs or with the company directly as a carrier. Now, some of these companies will require you to have 10, 15 trucks. Some of them may not, but you don't know until you try and ask and do your research. Okay. So, Tamara, what company should I sign up for as a carrier? I would start with the companies that are near you. Okay, so if you live in Atlanta, Georgia, you guys know y'all pass distribution centers all the time, every day. If you are um, going along, jot that down, jot that shipper down. Okay, so you might come look them up later on and see if you can establish a relationship with them. Okay, because a lot of times you can get direct relationship, and you may be able to carry their trailers. They will have a requirement of what you would need, and you will be able to do that. Okay, so we right now we're in a time where we know the freight is low, right? We know the rates are low. Okay, you're getting freight through a broker. Okay, and it's keeping the rates down. Okay, so we got to be able to think outside the box, and we cannot let the broker be the only option or the only way for you to get freight. Okay, if you are a carrier, you can sometimes go directly, especially if it's a small shipper. Okay, so don't think that you have to be a broker to call these shippers. You can be a carrier and call these shippers as well and establish. Okay, and they will have just pick a lane. You may can't take all of their freight, but if you got a couple of trucks or maybe one truck and you want the load from Atlanta to Dallas, give them a call. Hey, I'm carrier. This is my insurance. Okay, I'm qualified to carry your freight. I would like to run these loads. Hey, Trey, right? Okay, so we talked about how to get set up as a broker. If you're an agent, you're going to have the broker's shipper profile. Okay, if you sending out y'all like I showed you the carrier profile, carrier packet. If you are needing carriers to sign up with you, you could send that out and use DocuSign. Okay, so they all they have to do is fill in the blanks, and they could send that information for you. Okay, before they run your load, you have to make sure that request for proposal. Yes, if they ask for it. Do you submit a request for proposal? Yeah, if they ask for it. Okay. Um, Another thing is when you're sending the stuff out as well. Let me show you a couple of direct people that you can get. These are big companies, okay? So you can work towards that goal if that's something that you want to work with shippers directly, okay? So give me just 1 second. So we talked about Grasshopper, right? We talked about the phone line. We talked about the emails. We talked about setting up our LinkedIn profile. We talked about getting set up with our factoring company. If we're brokers, if you are agent, all that is set up for you. Okay. All you have to do is worry about getting the shippers. Now, if you are working for a brokerage, right? A brokerage is going to take a percentage. And usually, if you don't have any clients, any shippers at all, they're going to take 50% at least, okay, at the max, okay, because they have the brokerage, they have all the licenses, they have training for you, they have, they're going to take care of your bills, they're going to take care of everything for you. All you got to worry about is getting your shipper. They're going to even give you credit limits of however it is that you want. Okay. And a lot of times they're going to give you the load board, and you don't have to worry about paying to post your loads. They're going to give you the TMS system. They're going to allow you to be able to integrate with bigger companies. Okay. So being with a larger brokerage will let you get your feet in the door, even if it's 50% of your commission. And let me tell you how that works. Okay. Supposedly, and usually agents are independent agents. Okay, so the brokerage will say, hey, I'm gonna let you be an agent with us. You could sign up, you could have access to all our information. We already got the carriers, we may have our own trucks and things like that, but what you're going to be responsible is to bring business in the door. Okay, and we're going to support you on everything that you do. Okay, after you finish the course or the program and you get signed up as an agent, there's no more out-of-pocket costs. Okay, usually. All right. All you got to do is perform. When you're a broker, you're going to have out of pocket costs. You're going to have your insurance that's due, maybe quarterly or monthly. You're going to have to pay for a TMS system. You're going to have to pay for your load board. So there's a lot of other things that you have to pay for, and that can be an expense if you are just starting off and not having the income to be able to support the brokerage. Okay, so start as an agent, get the business, okay, because some of you all, you may be able to get a shipper in a week or two. Okay, some of you all, it will take you longer to get that shipper. Maybe it will take you a month, 6 months. It depends on how hard you work at it. If you don't work that hard at it, guess what? It's going to take you longer. Okay, so once you start making your commission is usually going to be about 50%. So let's just say you're under a brokerage, right? And you're making your calls and you get a load list. Okay, you're able to post your loads to the board or whatever the case may be. Let's just say that load is, the shipper gave it to you for $3,000, right? So if the shipper gave it to you for 3,000, you're not going to put it on the board for 3,000. Okay. So you're going to, and I teach you that. I teach you what the load will move for. Okay. So we will do pricing to see what all the other loads is moving for. And we want to be in the top. Okay. There's no reason for you to be in the bottom of the loads, because it's going to be highly unlikely for them to move. So you want to make sure that you're in the top of where whatever is going from Dallas to Atlanta, and you see these lows and they're paying this much. One thing about being a broker is, if you're a broker, you can also see what other brokers are posting the loads for. Okay, so I may have the same load that Global Trans have. Okay, shippers are not obligated to give loads to just one broker. Okay, so they may give that load to 5 different brokers. So you may see that I have the load posted. You may see Global Trans have the load posted. You may see CH Robinson may have the load posted. Depending, they are able to work with however many brokers that they want to. They are concerned about that load moving. Okay, and you may see me offer the load for 1,500. You may see Global Trans offer it for 1,700. Okay, but we all know what that shipper said that they're going to give us for the load. All right, so sometimes what we do is, if that load is $3,000, right? I got it on the board for maybe 2,500. Okay. And also, when your carrier starts calling in, they're going to want to negotiate. Okay. If you are a good carrier and you know your rates, you know how to negotiate. Okay. You always know that there's room in that freight. We don't post that load for what we got it at. Okay. So there's some sort of room in the freight. And what you have to figure out is, what's that room? Okay. So if I got it for $3,000, I put it on a load board for 2,500. I get somebody to call in. They tell me that the MC number is this, that, and the third. You always vet to make sure that it is a approved carrier, person that can carry the freight. Okay. And you tell them, okay, I got this load picking up such and such, such and such. It weighs this much. It's going to need a tarp or whatever the case may be. And it's an open appointment. So you tell them about the load. And right now, okay, I had this load that's going for $2,500. Okay. If they know what they're doing as far as negotiation, they're going to come back and they're going to say, hey, can you do it for 27? Okay. I'm going to say, I wish I could. I don't even have 27 in it, but I could do 26. Okay. That's probably going to be the highest that I can go. Right. So they're going to say, okay. I said, but if I can do 26, okay, and it's still available, would you want it? And they will say, yeah. Go ahead and see if it's still available. You never commit as an agent or a broker, because you want to make sure that load is still available. Okay. Especially if you have a shipper that then gave that load out. I mean, gave that load out to 4 or 5 brokers. You cannot do a contract with somebody and you don't even have the load, right? So you guys say, okay, give me one moment. Let me make sure that this load is still available and I'll give you a call right back. Okay. So we got him at 2,600, right? Now we know that the shipper gave us the load for 3,000. So we still got we got 400 in a load, right? So what you then do is you get back on the phone with your shipper and you say, hello, hey, Mr. Shipper, this is Tamara. I was just calling. Is that load from Atlanta to Dallas still available? And they'll say, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's still available. Okay. I have a carrier for that load. Okay. And I have a carrier right now for that load that they can be there at such and such a time, pick it up and deliver it on time. But I'm gonna need $3,200. Can you do $3,200 for the load? Right now, depending on if that load is a load that needs to be moved quickly, okay, or they're just going to wait around till somebody else call, okay, they're going to say, Tamara, I can't do 32, but I can get you 31. Is that okay? Of course it's okay, right? Because why is it okay? I've already negotiated with my carrier for 26. Okay. As an agent or broker, I always teach you guys go back and ask for your shipper for some more money. Okay. They're either going to say yes or no. Okay. The carrier is going to say yes or no. Okay. But as a broker or agent, it's your job to negotiate the freight. Okay. So if they accept it, if he came back and said, or she came back and said, I can't do it no less than 2,700, Tamara. Okay. I can't take that no less than 20. If you can give me 2,700, okay, then I'll be able to do it. All right. So, okay. I'm thinking now I'm down to what? $300 difference. I'm still going back to my shipper. Hey, can you do it for 32? All right. So when I come back, he says, Tim, I could give you 31. Okay. But that's as high as it's been moving for 31. That's as high as I'm going to be able to go with you. Right. So now I got the carrier said he'll do it for 27. I got the shipper said that they'll give me 31. Right. So what we at 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, we at $400. Okay. So now my shipper is happy because the shipper is, am I sweating? Oh my God. The shipper is happy because the shipper is able to get that load moved and he's okay with the rate. Okay. The carrier is happy is because they're getting the load and they are getting the load for what they asked for the load. Okay. They're getting what they asked for. Okay. They asked for 2,700. I gave them 2,700 or 26 or whatever the case may be. All right. So if the load move for 2,600, let's just say it move for 27. Maybe I'm feeling gracious that day. I want this carrier to remain with me and move all my loads because I know that this load is coming out every day. Okay. I don't want to have to speak to 50 million carriers and negotiate. Okay. I want to keep this carrier with me to run this load consistently. Okay. So I might come as a new broker or a new agent and the shipper gave me 31. Okay. Now my carrier asked for 26, right? But I want to keep my carrier. Okay. Maybe it's a good company, a good carrier. You don't have no issues with them. They on time. They don't have no logging issues. They don't call you with no problems, crying about this, that, and the third, right? So I'm gonna I'm gonna go back to my carrier because I want them to roll with me, right? So I'm gonna say, hey, I tell you what, you asked for $2,600 on that loan. I got 27 on it. Okay. They're going to be very happy. Guess who? Whenever they find that load on the load board, right? And they see all these different people, guess who they're going to call? They're going to call me because I'm going to give them the most for that load. Okay. So you have to think of it that way. When you making money in logistics and as a broker or agent, you want longevity. Okay. We make money in the long run. Okay. We make the money by making sure that we have great carriers that carry our loads. Okay. They're on time. They're responsible. Okay. And we also make sure that our shippers are good. Okay. So let's just say you're an agent, right? So let's just say we made $400, right? Now, 50% of that $400 goes to the broker. Okay. Why is that? The broker is paying for the license. They're paying for your insurance. They're paying for a whole lot of stuff. They're paying for the factoring. They're doing all this kind of stuff for you. Okay. So all you got to do is move the freight, submit the information, and bam, you get paid. Okay. You have a whole back office when you are an agent that takes care of the BOL, making sure that the payments go out and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. So some people will say 50% is not a lot of money, right? But 50% is something that you can get that is not costing you anything. All you got to do is work, negotiate the freight, okay? Build your book of business. As you build your book of business and you end your contract or whatever, now you're established. Let's just say you got $100,000 in book of business, okay? Now, if you want to break apart whatever your contracts say and open your own brokerage, then you can do it that way. Okay, but at least you have that steady partnership of people of coming in and they want to work with you. Okay, so that's what you have to do with your shippers and your carriers. Okay, so what is the biggest obstacle that you have? The biggest obstacle that you're going to have when it comes to being an agent is your calls. Okay, your calls, and the calls are very simple. And this is if you're an agent or a carrier and you're trying to find customers. Give me 1 second. Um, Let me get my cold calling script. Give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. And you write it down until you memorize it. Okay, write your script down until you memorize it. I don't teach you to read from a script, and the reason why is because I don't want you to sound like a robot. Okay, I want you to be very comfortable in your calls. Okay, you talk to them just like you talking to anybody else, but in a professional manner. Hey, hi, this is Tamara. I'm with Lewis and Lewis Logistics. I was wondering if I could speak with the person that is in charge of movement of your freight. Or you could say, I would like to speak to someone in your shipping or receiving department, please. Okay. All right. So they would be able to transfer you, or they're going to give you a name of the person who it is. Whenever you're on the phone and you're making calls to people, okay, you need to make sure that you have a pen and paper out, okay, because the gatekeeper, okay, that's the person that answers the phone. Your gatekeeper is going to probably give you some information that you could use. Right? So you want to make sure you have a pen in your hand and a piece of paper so you can write down any information that they give you. So if you're calling, you say, "Hey, this is Tamara with Lewis and Lewis Logistics. I was wondering if I could speak with someone in your shipping or receiving department, or I was wondering if I could speak with someone in charge of the movement of your freight." Okay, they're going to know exactly who it is that you want to speak to, right? So they're going to say, "Okay, one, this is one of the rebuttals that they may give you. Oh, you have to contact our corporate office." Okay, all right. Is there anybody in particular that I can speak with to that will handle us signing up with you all as a carrier? And usually the gatekeeper knows that information, so they may tell you, "Yeah, oh, that's Tim Rogers." Okay, and his phone. Do you have a phone number for Tim? Yes, Tim phone number is da 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 da, this, that, and the third. Okay. And if you can get it, do he have an email address? Okay. You're going to ask for Tim email address. Okay. Because that gives you somewhere to go or who you need to talk to. Okay. So you're not just calling, making calls, talking to any and everybody that can't help you. You only want to talk to the person that can give you the freight. That's all you want to talk to. Okay. Don't waste their time. Okay. So they won't waste your time. I don't leave voicemails. Okay. So if it goes to a voicemail, I'll either call back, make a note of it, try to call, nobody answered, try another time. Okay. Especially if it's a shipper that I really want to get in touch with. Okay. Another thing that I use is I use my LinkedIn. Okay. So if I'm going to find this person, the gatekeeper is the one that told me the name, first and last name, their phone number, and maybe their email address. So if we get disconnected in some kind of way, and I have my pen and paper and I wrote everything down, I don't have to call her back and say, who did you say again? What is their name? What's their phone number? So if you get it right the first time, then you don't have to worry about the gatekeeper anymore. So if you happen to call back, you could say, "Hey, is Tim available?" She gonna direct you directly to that person, okay? Because she feels like you already know them, okay? Not everybody is going to answer the phone. Okay. Now, what if you're working with a brokerage and they tell you, you call the customer and the customer said, "Oh, I ain't working with y'all. Y'all double broker my loads. I told y'all not to give my loads and put them on the load board, and y'all went ahead and did. No, I'm not working with y'all." How do you overcome that? Do you say, "Oh, okay, thank you, bye"? Okay. No, you try and make that shipper feel comfortable and say, "I understand your concern. Okay. That you may had a not so good experience in the past, but I want to let you know, okay, that I am the logistics manager or the director or whoever it is that you want to be to make that customer feel that if he gave you or she gave you that freight again, that you're not going to double broker their loads. Because what is the biggest concern that shippers have? Okay. When they tell agents, don't post their loads on the load board, that's exactly what they mean. They want you to have, if they're giving you that load and they're the broker, they're telling you that here, I'll give you these loads, but these are only for your trucks. Okay. They're not for everybody else because we know that your trucks have the insurance to cover our loads. Okay, questions so far? Am I moving too fast? We'll go over and over and over again. But you're going to say once you get with the logistics manager, okay, or the person in charge of moving freight, you're going to say, "Hey, this is Tamara. How you doing? I was just calling to see how we can get connected to you guys and assist you all with moving your freight." Okay. And they may say, "Oh, you got to email this person or just give me your email address and we'll send you over, our loads." It could be that easy. Okay. We always work with brokers. That's no problem. Just send me over your insurance and all that kind of stuff. And they're good, right? Then they can also say, "Well, what's your capacity?" Okay, so you're going to tell them, say, if you have access to how many trucks, "Hey, I got 13,000 of my own trucks and I have access to over 65,000 trucks." Okay, we can move anything from dry van, flatbed, reefer, whatever it is that your capacity is, ensure the shipper that you can do that. Okay, now if the shipper sends over that list of what it is that they want moved, maybe they want you to do a price quote. Okay. I'm not doing training right now, Eric. I got some videos in the mentorship class, all my videos in the mentorship class. So you can go back and look at those videos as well. Okay. But they may say, they may ask you to send them over some information. Okay. So once you get your first load list or your loads or whatever the case may be, some load lists will have rates on them as well. Okay. They will come with the rate. So this is what we're paying. Okay. Get that. Even though it may be lower than what the expectation is, get it. Okay. Because right now we don't have anything to negotiate with. We ain't gave them no carrier. We ain't did nothing. Okay. We just asked for the load list. All right. So when we get this load list, right, you're going to say, look at it and see if it's a decent, rate or whatever the case may be. Is it enough for you to make sure the carrier is paid? Is it enough for you to make a profit off of it? What is it? Okay. So when you come back, you're not going to argue back and forth with the shipper about the rate because you don't have nobody to move the freight yet, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to post it, right? We're going to get a carrier to call in, and we're not going to put the rate on there. We're going to get the carrier to call in and ask, how much it is. We're going to give them a rate of what the shipper sent over minus our fee, right? The carrier is going to say, you got to be out your mind. I'm not moving that for this. Okay. All right. We see you not going to move it for this. What would you move it for? Right? So that you ask your carrier, what will it take for you to move this load? Your carrier is going to come back and tell you, well, some people are going to be a little bit outrageous, okay? And some people are going to be really reasonable and they're going to know their numbers. And if we're not that far off, we can negotiate that. Okay, if I can get it for the amount that you're asking for, would you be interested in moving this load? Yeah, you can get it for this amount. I'll take it for you, right? So what we're going to do then? We are the freight managers. We're going to manage the movement of the freight. He has freight sitting over there that's not moving. It's our job to move it for them. Now, sometimes they don't have a clue of what it is that of the race. They're going to try to get away with as little as possible. That's their job. Okay, and still get the freight moved. As a freight agent, you have to educate them, okay, and let them know why we need such and such amount for this load. Okay, now you're going to get back with your shipper. He sent you a load list. You got the load list, right? I got a carrier that said that they'll take it for this amount. Okay, now I got to make everybody happy. So I got to call my shipper and say, look, I understand you want this load to be moved. I want to move it for you. I got a carrier right now that can take it for such and such. Now, when I get that price from my carrier, I'm also going to keep in mind that I got to get a fee out of it. So I'm gonna get my carrier rate, add my fee, and that's what I'm gonna go back to my shipper with. Say, hey, I can get this moved right now, and I'm gonna ask for a little bit more because the key about negotiation is you never ask for the exact thing. So if I'm looking for a rate of $3,000, guess what? I'm gonna ask for 3,500. You always going to ask over because if you ask for your limit at 3,000 or whatever the case may be, you have nowhere to go. You have nowhere to go. Okay, so if you need 3,000 for the low, ask for 3,500. Tim, I ain't got 3,500. What do you have? Okay. Well, you want this little move? I got a carrier that can pick it up today. And let me tell you about urgency. Okay. When it's hot, I love it when they come back and say hot. Okay. Hot means name your price. We got to get it gone. Okay. So learn how to go back and forth, not only with your shipper, but with your carrier as well and negotiate. It's called negotiation. All right. So once we tell them about what you have and this, that, and the other. Um, if they ask you, do you have your own trucks? No. Yes, we have our own trucks. Having your own trucks means that these trucks are under your MC. Okay. Um, or if you don't, just say I have access. I have access. Okay. Um, what if they say no? We're terribly slow right now. We're terribly slow right now and don't have a lot of understand. May I have your email address so I can send you information? And whenever you start shipping again, I could be added then. Okay, that's going to be your produce people. Okay. Or people that's, if they're not moving anything right now, still get an email address. Okay. It may not be their season right now. So you could follow up and contact when it is their season. Okay. Um, what if they say no? We work with a 3PL company and we outsource our freight. Okay. Or no, we only work with carriers. Well, if they only work with carriers, guess what? You're a broker and a carrier. Okay. So you can use it, you can take their rebuttals and use it for your benefit. That's why I don't like scripts, because you never know what they're going to say. Okay. So listen to what they're saying and then come up with a better solution. Okay. Always make them feel comfortable and that you know what you're doing. That's why I said study your equipment, study your rates and all that kind of stuff, so that when you get on the phone with the shipper, you sound like you know what you're talking about. Right. All right. Another thing, I would like you to call 15 to 20 to 25 shippers a day. A day. Okay. Call 15, 20. And how do you do that? You're going to get your list of shippers in the afternoon. Maybe when you get off of work, you stop driving, you're going to look and find your shippers, right? You're going to get there. Let's just look at this one. Give me 1 second. Let's go over here. All right. Let's just say we have a shipper, right? And let's just say, not that one, what I was looking at. Okay. What I like to do when I'm looking for shippers, you can take one shipper and find 5 to 10 shippers right in that same area. Okay. That you can call. Let's just say the person that I wanted to call was ABS, American Building Supply, right? So what am I looking at when I look at this company? Okay. What do I look at as a broker or agent? What do I look for? Okay. I look for the fact that, is it a small shipper? Do they have independent trucks? See, you got metro trailers, those are lease trailers. Okay. Do they look like they work with owner operators? Okay, which it looks like they do, right? Okay. And I'm looking for like independent people, because I know that if independent people are showing up here, I know that that's brokered freight. Okay. If I see a whole lot of Landstar trucks or a whole lot of JB Hunt trucks or a whole lot of Swift trucks and things like that, I may think that this is contracted freight. Okay. But I see a whole lot of trucks in the door that are independent owner operators, then I know that they broker out. Okay. I look at the facility to make sure that it's a warehouse. Okay. And see who they working with. Right. So, then give me 1 second. So then you can see who the trail, Avery. Okay. You got one person here that might be a small, owner operator. Okay. So then what I'll do, not only will I do that, I got the phone number. Okay, usually I have the phone number. Give me 1 second. Okay, right here. So I get that company and I get their phone number, right? This is the company. I know this is a warehouse, right? I can see what kind of freight that they're moving, right? Because what kind of freight are they moving? Drive-in. Okay, all these are drive-in trailers. Okay, so if I'm working for a company that does drive-in, this will be a company that I will work for. I will call, right? So I'll call that number. You're going to ask for shipping and receiving, right? You're going to get through the gatekeeper. You're going to ask them about how can we get connected. I don't care if you're a broker or you're a carrier, you can call them. Okay. So now I can't get in touch with them. Okay. They don't answer the phone. But what can I also do as well? Right? I can look around in the area, see what else is around here. Okay, looks like this is another distribution center, right? South Meadows Distribution Warehouse. Okay, you got Martin Brow McDonald's. Okay, that's going to probably be a contract. Let me show you how I could tell contract from non. See, when I pull it up, I'm gonna look at this, and I know that if you're working with Martin Brower, you probably gonna need a look. They tell you outside carriers call this. Okay. Also, I want to look at their trucks. What kind of trucks are coming in here? Are they independent trucks or are they contract? This to me looks like what? Contracted freight. Why? Because you got Warner right here. You got their own trucks. Okay. Now I see this right here. So that might be a independent person. Okay. This star. Okay. You're gonna look at them. Do they have their own trucks? Yes, they have their own trucks. Okay. Carriers. So you may be able to work with them directly. You may not. You may, but ain't no problem. And give them a call. All they can do is say no. We don't work with carriers. We work with brokers, or you got to have 10, 15 trucks to work with us, or whatever the case may be. Okay. Usually you're gonna find an industrial park or whatever the case may be. And all you do is move around in this area because guess what? Warehouses like to be together. Okay, here you go. You got Costco distribution. I know that's going to be contracted, right? So, but you're looking for small shippers, mom and pop shippers that you can get your foot in the door and move their freight. They may have 10 loads, they may have 15 loads, or whatever the case may be. Okay, if you're not set up with the EDI and all that kind of stuff, and you just want to, they may only be sending out 20 to 30 loads a day. Okay, now let me also show you this as a carrier. You ask, well, Tamara, how can you work directly? How can you work directly with maybe Target? Okay. So, like I tell you, every shipper either is going to have a 3PL, their brokerage, own brokerage company, or whatever the case may be. Okay. So, if I want to work with Target, Target's a big company, right? Do you see right here? What does it say? Carriers. Okay. What does it say? Become a carrier now. All right. Now, when you're working with these big companies, you're going to fill out that information. Okay. Now, the only thing about that, and they will, get in contact with you. And they have a login and password where you can go. Oh, they got agents. Do you currently have a book of business as an employee or agent? If so, we would like for you to join our program. Okay. See, companies like this want you to have a book of business. Okay. So, but yeah, you can sign up as a carrier, right? Become a carrier now. You go in there, they ask you for your MC number, interested in becoming a carrier, right? Now, also, let me go back here. You could send that information over. Okay. Now, grocery stores. Let me go over here. Let's just say Kroger. Okay. If you go to Kroger and you want to become a broker or a carrier with Kroger, guess what? You're going to have to fill out what is called a vendor profile. So they asking Kroger carrier requirements. If you're asset based, you're going to have what? Right? $2 million in general liability, $100,000 in cargo. Okay. Now, if you are a broker, guess what? You got to have $1 million in commercial general liability, $5 million in contingent auto liability, $1 million professional liability, and a minimum of $100,000 cargo insurance. Okay. So when I'm telling you that, why is this so, oh, because it's so big. So when I'm telling you that you can go after the big companies, but it's a little bit harder because you may not have the trucks and you may not have the insurance. Okay. So they're going to ask you for your carrier name, your SAT code, your DOT. If you're a broker, they're going to ask you for your broker name, your SAT code, your DOT, your MC, how many power wheeling units, how many drive-ins, how many company drivers, how many owner operators. Do you haul frozen ice cream, fresh produce? Do you broker the freight? Okay. What's your percentage of your loads do you broker? Okay. All carriers got to fill out what is your gross sales, how many years you've been in business. Okay. And you're going to have a reference sheet. Okay. And Kroger service all of these products. Okay. So what I'm saying to you, hold on one second. It's hot. Golly, I'm sweating. Ah. Okay. So what I'm saying to you is that when I tell you that when you take my class, okay, a lot of times it's just hot. Oh, it's 75, no wonder. Turn on the air. Okay. A lot of times when you take my class, right, and y'all come in with these ideas of I'm gonna move, I'm gonna do ketchup, I'm gonna do Kroger's, I'm gonna do Walmart, I'm gonna do all these different places, and I don't want to bust your bubble, okay? But you may not have the capacity, you may not have the insurance, okay? And the experience to work with these companies. So if you do not have any freight and you are just trying to get your foot in the door, okay, you want to build. All right. One of the questions is if I become an agent, am I going to be making $5,000, $10,000 a week? Not at all. Not when you start. It may be 6 months before you even get a paycheck or a supplement because most people do independent agents that are on commission. Okay. If you find a position for a freight agent that pays you by the hour, believe you me, you're going to be in their office. Okay. Because they're going to make sure that you're making the calls. They're going to make sure that you are doing the work. Okay. But as an independent agent, you only get paid for what you do. So if you do nothing, you get paid for nothing. Okay. If you don't have any freight, I don't even let my agents on the phone unless they bring in a customer. Okay. So these are things that you can work on before you even take a class. If you're serious about doing this, right? So if you're serious about doing something like this is something that you could do before. All right. So when you go in this, writing down your shippers, call and saying, okay, this is Tamara with Lewis and Lewis Logistics. I was just calling to see How can I get on your load list? How can we work together? Whatever the case may be. What is this I got up here? Oh, okay. It was another shipper. Okay. Um, Let me do another one. Okay. West Rock. All right. A shipper. Okay. What if I'm a carrier? I don't have my brokerage. Okay. I'm just a carrier. Okay. Usually you can go down to contact us. Okay. You're going to go over here. And what do you want to contact them for? You want to sign up with them as a carrier, transportation. Okay. So you will send them an email with all your information. Okay. Are you certified minority owned company? Okay. Shippers love that. Okay. If you are a woman owned, or are you certified woman owned company? They love that. Okay. They want to work with you. You put your MC number in there. You tell them how many trucks you got. Do you have a dry van? Do you have a reefer? What you got? What you working with? Also, you can ask them, do they offer power only? Can you just use your tractors? Okay. Now, Walmart. Let me go in here. Walmart. You can go to Wayfair. Okay. Partner with us. Okay. With Wayfair, you can do all kinds of stuff. If you got a warehouse, okay, if you got a warehouse, Wayfair can ship their furniture to you. You can take your box trucks and you can move their furniture from your warehouse and go out and deliver it locally. Okay, that's partnering with Wayfair. Okay, you can also pick up if you got a drive in or whatever the case may be, they have vendors that supplied them furniture. Wayfair is just the company name, but they have all kinds of shippers that supply them furniture, and you go pick up that furniture and you bring it to the distribution center. Okay, so you can partner with companies, but what I'm saying to you is don't be afraid to ask. Okay, closed mouths don't get fed. Don't be afraid to ask. If you're a carrier, ask as a carrier. Say, hey, even if you got one truck, okay? Now, if you go to Walmart, Walmart is going to tell you that they need 15 trucks, okay? It's a little bit harder. We got to, what they say, crawl before you ball, okay? So let me know how you're doing. As far as looking for shippers, if y'all are in the mentor group, I already got the list of shippers in there for you. You got the database. I taught you a third way to look for shippers. You find one shipper, you go around in the Google area and you see if there's any other shippers. They may not even been on your list, but you can also give them a call as well and say, hey, my name is Tamara, and I'm with Lewis and Lewis Logistics, and I am a carrier, and I have my own truck. And I was wondering how me and you can do business. How can we get set up to carry your loads? It's that simple. Don't make it hard, okay? Because it's not. All a person can do is say, no, we're not interested. We have our own trucks. We don't use brokers. We don't use carriers. We do local work, whatever the case may be. Okay, it's still no skin off your off of you. You was just calling, but there are a lot of shippers, especially smaller shippers, that are looking for carriers to work with directly, that are looking for brokers to work with directly. Okay, they may not have a huge database of freight to move. They may only have maybe 5 to 10 loads a day. Okay, let's look at a load list. Let me see if I can find your load list real quick. Y'all with me so far? I get so many emails, but I want to make sure I share something, a little something with you, but I'm not. Uh, 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 uh. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can send you something. Show you something, rather. Give me a minute. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Mm, I'll get it together. I'll show you a rate confirmation. Hold on one second. I'm trying to show you something old. Old. So I can show you what a rate confirmation looks like. Okay. Okay, let me show you just a random rate confirmation. Okay. Now, when you are a agent or a broker, you are going to send out what is called a rate confirmation. So if you are a carrier, your rate confirmation should come from the broker. Now, if you have a company that does not allow you to see the rate confirmation or what it is, um, I don't know what to tell you, but you should, if you're a carrier, let's just say you work for, uh, you're a carrier that signed on to Lewis and Lewis Logistics, right? So you sign on to Lewis and Lewis Logistics, and I get 15% of your freight of whatever it is that you run. Okay, so you signed on to Lewis and Lewis Logistics, and you work directly with the broker. Okay, so if you're on the phone and you're negotiating with that broker, and they tell you that they're going to send over a rate confirmation, okay, as Lewis and Lewis Logistics, and I'm the person that receives the rate confirmation because you're under my authority, then I should be sending you a copy of this, okay, because you booked it with TQL. All right, so I should send you the original rate confirmation. Now, if you booked it with TQL and I take this rate confirmation that says TQL on it and I turn it around and make it a rate confirmation that says Lewis and Lewis Logistics, then that's a whole nother fee that's coming out that you don't even know about. Okay, but or you whatever the case may be. But you should, if you're negotiating your own freight. That's why I don't like if you have like these dispatchers that work for the company because they may not give you your right rate. They may just send you the low and tell you that it pays for this, that, and the third, and they done already booked it through another. another brokerage. Okay, so this is a long time ago, but I just wanted to show you what a rate confirmation looks like. All right, so with that rate confirmation, you're going to have the person. So if you're an agent and you're sending out the rate confirmation, it's going to have the business information on there. Okay, it's going to tell you how to submit your paperwork to get paid. Okay, it's going to tell you, it's going to have the carrier information on there. It's going to tell you the weight of the load. All right, it's going to have the line haul rate. If it's a flat rate, what does that mean? Okay, that means that they ain't giving you no more money but that. Okay, they don't break it down. It should be broken down. When you do a load correctly, it should be broken down. Okay, it should have the line haul rate. It should have the fuel surcharge. It should have a trailer washout if it needs to. It should have the TARP pay if you need to. Okay, um, that should be broken down. Okay, van or reefer 48 non-hazardous. It's a dry. It's going to have, if you carrying a reefer load, it's going to have the temperature on it. Okay, it's going to have the pickup location. Where it's picking up, it's going to have the delivery location. Okay, and how you could submit your information in order to get paid, and how to submit that in there. Okay, as an agent, you are in charge of the rate con. Okay, as an agent or the broker, you are in charge of getting the rate con. Okay, the rate con is going to have your pickup location. It's going to have your delivery location. It's going to have the amount that you negotiated for. It's going to also have the pickup numbers that you need. It's going to have the weight on there. It's going to have anything that has to do with you getting that load from point A to point B. If it's an appointment time, also on your rate confirmation, you want to let that carrier know, hey, if you are late on this load, we're going to deduct this from you. Okay, that's your contract. Okay, if you don't deliver on Friday when we told you that it wasn't open on weekends, and you don't deliver that load on Friday, guess what? You got to wait till Monday. And we're not paying layover, detention, or any of that, because we already told you that the open appointment from Monday through Friday from this time to this time. Okay, there should not be any questions. So you make sure. If you have detention, you need to let that know. If you are 2 hours after a particular time, then um, this is when detention kicks in. You need to notify whatever the case may be. Okay, lumpers, whatever the case may be, it needs to be on your rate confirmation. Okay, because that's your contract. Hey, Gwen, that's your contract. All right. Once you do your contract and everybody signs, not only do you give a contract to your carrier, but you also give your shipper a copy. Okay, because you got to have a confirmation with that shipper, because if he told me $3,100, we want to have that in writing that you told me $3,100, and I need to have my shipper sign it, because I don't want him to send me a check for $2,700 when he told me he was going to pay me 31, because sometimes they may forget. Okay, so any questions? I said an hour and 30 minutes, and it's been an hour and 30 minutes. So what did we learn today? We learned how to set up our profile on LinkedIn. We learned how to get a professional email. We learned how to get our own phone line, so we're not answering the phone. Hello, how you doing? What's up? Hey, this is Tamara speaking. How may I help you? Okay. I know if I got a personal phone call coming in, or if I got somebody calling about a load. Okay. We learned how to get we learned how to set up with a factoring company, right? If you didn't get it, replay the video, and and so you will understand it. Okay, learn how to get your factoring company set up. You learned how to, you looked at a broker shipper, a broker carrier agreement. Okay. If you want to download that, you can, and personalize it to make it yours. Okay, you can, in the group, in the mentorship. All right. We learned how, oh, I'll do the dispatch paperwork, what you need for dispatching as well. Okay. I'll put that in the group as well. Um, you learned how to, I got a call script in there. We sample calling of what you're going to say when you call. Okay. That people know you're a carrier, how to send your email. We talked about that, right? So you're not going to send an email directly to a shipper without even talking to them, right? We're going to call them first. We're going to get an email address. And then what we're going to send, we're going to send our profile, telling them what a great company we are. Okay. Any awards that you may have achieved. Okay. What's your capacity? What's your insurance looking like? Let them know that you're a licensed broker. Okay. A W-9, we're going to include that with what? We include a W-9 with what? Our shipper and our carriers, right? Carriers, we're going to have a carrier profile. We're going to want to know their insurance, what kind of trucks they got, where do they like to run. Okay. You don't want to call a carrier and they on the East Coast and they only run Georgia and Alabama and Louisiana, and you got a load picking up in California. Okay. You want to know where your carrier's at. All right. We talked about negotiating a little bit. We're going to go over and over and over with this stuff until you get it. Okay. But I can talk to you till I'm blue in the face. We're never going to get no money if we don't pick up the phone, if we don't start making our calls. Okay. We could talk about what we're going to do all day. But if we don't make a list of, what did I say, 20 to 25 shippers every day and start calling, okay? Because eventually somebody is going to say, yes, send me over your information. Yes, we've been looking for new brokers. Honey, we tired of the ones we got. Okay. Oh, you work with such and such? Oh, yeah. Let me send you my information right now. What can a larger broker do for you? A larger broker can do different things. They can do intermodal for you. They can have the insurance for that. They can also do. They may be able to drop trailers for you. Okay, what if you got a shipper that need 4 or 5 trailers? Where you gonna get it from? Okay, your brokerage may have that capacity. Your brokerage can also do warehousing for you. What if you got a shipper that want their stuff stored? You can make arrangements for warehousing for them. Okay, where it comes to one of the warehouses, and one of the drivers picks it up and take it out to wherever it needs to go. Okay, so it's so much that you can do in logistics, whether it's dispatching, whether it's you being compliance, like you just taking care of people paperwork, whether you're being an agent, whether you're being a broker, whether you're a carrier. Okay, a lot of this stuff intermingles. So what's the most important thing I say? You don't have to be a broker. You can be a carrier and still get direct freight, right? Okay. So nobody has no questions. We all happy go lucky. Did you learn anything today? Like, is this something that's interested? This is a gateway to see if this is something that you want to do. If you want to be an agent, if you want to be a broker, I might just told you a whole lot of stuff, and you like, wait a minute, I didn't know I had to do all that. I just thought I was gonna post some loads. They was gonna call me. I was gonna move them, and I was gonna make some money. I didn't know we had to do all this calling and this, that, and the third, and talking to all these people. I don't want to do that. I want to just get the loads, post them, and I want to make money. That's what I want to do. Okay. But you got to get your customers. You got to start from somewhere. You got to get your foot in the door. Okay. We crawl before we ball. All right. So, other than that, it's an hour and 39 minutes, guys. If you don't have any questions for me, email me if you have any questions. Okay. If you think of something later, send me an email, missdivatrucker@gmail.com. Okay. If you're thinking about something, send me an email. Okay. If it's not that important that you want to ask me on the next training, ask me on the next training. That's what we're here for. We're here for you to ask me questions. Okay. We looked at some customers. I showed you what I'm looking at. What I look at small independent owner operators. I want to see if they pulling up at these shippers. I don't want to see big shippers like trucks like Warner and Swift and Knight and JB Hunt and all those kind of things, because I know that's probably going to be contracted freight. All right, so we could tell the difference. All right, so a lot of people, when y'all come to my class, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get y'all be thinking of some stuff. I'm gonna get Walmart freight. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get Frito Lay. I'm gonna do all this. Okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna look for small shippers. Okay, pick up the phone. Hey, don't nobody know you. They don't know what you got. They don't know what you have. You don't have to send nothing until actually they say that they're gonna send you freight. Then you got to send all your stuff that you need to send. You know, I'm sending my license, my carrier stuff, all that kind of stuff, my insurance, all that kind of stuff. But it don't cost you nothing to pick up the phone. Hey, this is Tamara with Lewis and Lewis Logistics. How you doing today? I'm doing wonderful, Tamara. What's going on with you? Well, I'm trying to figure out how I can get connected with you guys to move some of that freight y'all got going on. You know, you don't have to sound like a robot. Just have a general conversation with people. Okay? And you never know what may happen. And then you build off of that. You go from there. All right? So, but let's start this way, the right way. Get in there and start making some money. All right? I will talk to you all later. How can you sign up with or be an agent with USS Logistics? Is you have to bring a customer to the table. One customer, that's all I ask. One customer with a load list. I'll do the approval to see if they're qualified to get them established with $25,000. And then after that, they send you over their loads, and you are welcome to post your loads, answer the phone. We'll put you on the phone lines, and you can answer the phone, and you can move your own freight. And that's it. All I do is send out your payment at the end of the week. That's it. I don't babysit anyone. You know, you are responsible as an independent agent to move your freight, to talk to your customers, to talk to your carriers, to search and see what carriers are in the area, so you're not just calling everybody. You can see it tells you a list of how many carriers. It will even tell you if these carriers ran your loads before. It will tell you, oh, you got somebody that's 5 minutes away, right? So if I got somebody 5 minutes away, I'm not going to wait for nobody to call me from the load board. I'm going to call that carrier. I'm going to say, hey, this is Tamara with such and such. Hey, I see you got a truck that is located in such and such. I got a load that's picking up, da, 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 da. That's why people post their trucks. Okay, so when you post your trucks on a load board, it shows me where you're at. So even that you're not signed up with me, if I see that you're in the area, it don't take but 5 minutes to get you signed up. All I gotta do is verify your insurance, make sure that you're good in the safety, and you running your laws and all that kind of. You got on time stuff. Okay, so it doesn't take that very long to get a carrier signed up. So if I got a load in a certain place, I'll start looking in that area, and I say, oh, this person is 30 miles away. Let me call them. Hey, this is Tim. I got this load that's picking up and it picks up and you can deliver it, da 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 da. It's paying this, that, and third. Can you do that for me? Oh yeah, Tim, I can, or they can. I'll move on. We're gonna call whoever else in the area. Okay, but we're going to talk some more about it. If you got any questions, let me know. Email me, let me know. MissDivaTrucker@gmail.com. All right, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace, love, joy, and happiness. You all have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.